Hey guys, this is Nick M. Whittier here on Monday, December 11th. I said I was going to do Movie Mondays in my first video, but fuck what I said. I'm going to do Motivational Monday. We'll make it Film Fridays or Filmy Fridays or some shit. Today I want to talk about motivation as a competitive Melee player. Not as, other things in life, but from a competitive gamer perspective. Oh, by the way, say, my shirt is fucking sick. Really stoked to have this shirt. I actually used to have the same shirt and in a different color, and then I lost it. But I just found the same shirt again. It was actually cheap. So I'm really stoked to have this one again. It's a fucking good shirt. Anyway, a lot of people on Reddit like to talk about motivation, and motivation is important. But let's be clear. To be a top player, what you need is not motivation. You don't need motivation. What you need is discipline. So I'm not really going to talk about discipline. I feel like what I just said should be intuitive. I have an article written that I didn't release about this, but I feel like this should just be kind of obvious in general, right? Like, motivation is capricious. Discipline is always there if you have it. So, yeah, if you really want to be the best, which isn't really my goal, but it seems to be a lot of people's, then what you need is discipline. And fuck motivation. Work on your discipline. Just like, if you want to sculpt your body and be extremely cut, then what you need is discipline, not motivation. You're not always going to feel motivated to go to the gym. You're not always going to feel motivated to eat the best food. What you need is discipline. So, okay, that's all I'm going to say about discipline now. Let's talk about motivation. Because, even as competitive Melee players, it's not the core of a lot of people's lives in terms of, like, maybe it's what they think the most about or, like, what they care the most about, but they still have a lot of other things going on, right? People have to pay bills, go to school, people have social lives outside of Melee, whatever. There are other hobbies even, there's lots of things going on. So if you know that you can't spend all your time on Melee and that this might be an impediment, this might literally prevent you from being able to be the best player, how do you still find the motivation what is the motivation? What's your impetus behind playing? So, there's a lot of people who have a lot of different motivations for going to Melee tournaments. For people who are my age, a lot of times it's really just to see friends and hang out. That isn't really the case for me, and okay, let me just talk about me for a little bit then. The strongest motivator for a lot of good players is that they hate losing and they're very competitive. So if you're like me or Dewan and you just really, really hate losing, and mentioning Dewan, I really hate losing to Dewan. If you really hate losing to like your rival or your friend, the motivation should come easy, right? It sucks to lose, and Dewan is shroomed. He's like, I don't know, been about 10th best in the world, somewhere around there for many years now. And he was like he wasn't quite that level, but he was a very top player when I literally picked up the game, like a year before I'd ever even gone to a tournament or whatever. So, I was getting 4-stocked, losing every game really bad. And, anybody knows me, I'm a pretty loud and sometimes whiny fuck. So back then it was all bad playing Dewan, and I don't really beat him in tournament. Not to say we've played in tournament in a while, but I probably would almost certainly lose if we did play right now. But just being able to win like 1 in 3 games when we play at his house or whatever, that feels fucking good. So yeah, not wanting to lose, obviously a big source of easy motivation for me. Now let's talk about other things that people seem to care about. Okay, my personal goals were that I wanted to be the best Captain Falcon player in doubles. I think I'm close, but not there. Obviously, it would be nice to be the best in singles too, but kind of given up on that as, kids are broken. These kids they get so good so fast. I know how it goes. And also, I always wanted to be good enough to play on a crew battle if we did NorCal versus SoCal, which is a goal I met, but there was no crew battle for me to play on. Like 8-on-8 or 10-on-10. If I'm fine not being on it if it's like 5-on-5. That's actually a disappointing thing that I was told there'd be a crew battle at Blood for Blood, but I guess not enough SoCal showed up. So yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I don't want to do some like whack ass crew battle where like their heavy hitters aren't there. They did have 5 good players there, but they didn't have like their top 5. And I mean, we didn't either. But like, it's still, I don't know. 5-on-5 isn't hype, right? We were trying to do like a region versus a region, not like a few people from a region versus a few people from another region. So okay, anyway, let's talk about the people who are like going to their first tournament in 2017 or hell 2018. Okay, so it's hard. It's hard to get to this level that other people are at. It's a hard game, but you guys have a lot of advantages that people didn't have, even like people from my generation of Melee, like 2012-ish. So I started going to tournaments in 2012, and I went for, there weren't many tournaments back then, so I pretty much went to all of them that there were. And then I lived in Europe for a year in 2013, and that was really rough for my Melee career, as it were, because there was no one to practice with, and there were 2 players who would like I could sometimes get to come to my house, but they were really bad. I was really bad, and I would beat these guys convincingly. Like, yeah, I was really, really bad. I would get 4-stocked by like a top 100 player or whatever back then, and I would still 3-stock these guys. So, I did still want to play this game in the future, so I practiced a lot in my room, but we didn't have the hack pack back then, and I didn't know shit about what to practice. I had all kinds of stupid tech skill that was totally useless that I spent a ton of time practicing. Now you guys have all kinds of tutorials and tech skill and stuff, and I think that should definitely help motivate. Just like, it's a lot easier to get good now than it was before. So yeah, take advantage of the tools you have, but also don't neglect playing against other people. I mean, there's also net play, obviously. Net play not really my thing, but as far as learning like matchup basics, it's a super good tool. So there's net play, there's the hack pack, there's tutorials, there's all kinds of materials for newcomers. Another thing that's cool about Melee that I think should help keep people in the community is that the community is very helpful. If you ask people if you seem like you're somebody who is interested in putting in the work and is thoughtful about what they're asking and like doesn't just want easy answers, the people are going to be really helpful around you. There's lots of people who would love to be mentors for up and coming players in our community. Everybody always has, their senseis, and like, the online community can be a little bit toxic. I can be toxic, whatever. But if you go to a tournament, in most regions, people will be very helpful. Don't feel nervous asking like good players to play you. If there's an open TV, sit down and ask somebody to play, or ask somebody to play then sit down. People are gonna want to help you out. It's a really good community coming from PC gaming, and I played thousands of hours of MOBAs in my time. God, I hate that term MOBA. It's so dumb. The Melee community is amazingly helpful. People, we know that new players are the lifeblood of the scene, and if you've gone through the effort to show your face at a Melee tournament, people are going to want to see your face more in the future. Now, that said, don't get this confused with babying people and trying to hold their hand into the community. The thing is, Melee is not for the faint of heart. If people will get so easily discouraged that losing badly discourages them rather than serves to motivate them and show them how cool the game is, these people are not worth spending your time on, because they will get discouraged and they will leave because they will not be able to stand losing and their own inadequacy for like years or whatever. The game is trying. This game, people who aren't really into it are not going to last in the community. That said, maybe they can make enough friends so they'll still come and hang out. But that is not the lifeblood of the scene. This game is not the kind of game we can just like put on stage and encourage casuals to get into it, and then they'll come and play with us. No, it's not going to be like that. You have to have a love for the game, and you have to have some kind of impetus, like I was trying to talk about like why you play, and you can't like package this up nicely and sell it to fucking casual gamers. Okay. So a couple more things that I think are great and quite motivating about our community are that it's okay. I mean, it goes without saying, right? It's a fun game. There's a lot of depth to the game. There's a lot of matchups. There's a lot of characters. People act like there aren't a lot of viable characters in Melee. Every character, every top tier is like basically a well of like infinite depth. Honestly, having like 4 characters would be plenty for Melee, and we have like 8 to 12 real characters, to be honest. So just like, okay, the point I'm trying to get at is the more you play Melee, the more fun it gets. Other games are like really fun at a mid-level, casual level, and then they suck at a high level. They get really, really degenerate. Melee, well, maybe if you're top 5, 10 in the world, it can be kind of lame. There's Hungrybox, there's Mewtwo King, somebody's a plank or whatever. But like overall, Melee is more fun the better you get. So I don't know how anybody could not want to keep playing when it literally only gets more fun. And okay, let's do the Nick jerk off here. There's also doubles in Melee. So whenever I feel like I'm fed up with the game, I hate being tech chased by Spark, I hate Ice Climbers, I always miss my L cancel because they do some light shield shit or something, I'm bad, and then I get wobbled, and I hate my game, I want to throw my controller, I'll always just play doubles. You don't have to deal with the bullshit. There's like very few, if any, degenerate strategies in doubles, as long as you have like, a not awful team composition to combat it. So like, I take doubles super seriously, but like, no joke, if you want something like more casual and just like have fun with your friends, a little bit less stressful, doubles is awesome. And it's also nice that in both singles and doubles, okay, let's put it this way. Melee is great at reflecting your improvement. You can see very, very visible, tangible results. Like you can see your work manifest itself on the screen at a pretty quick rate. Not in terms of results per se, or maybe in terms of results, not necessarily in terms of results, but in terms of what your character is doing on the screen, you can really see improvement quickly in Melee, which isn't always the case in like StarCraft, let's say. The improvement can be pretty I don't know, seeing that you have like fewer minerals and you spent your resources better and you built at the right time isn't as gratifying as what you do in Melee. So if you're good at singles or doubles but not both, it can be really fun if you want like a break to just work on the other one, because then you can like it's easier to see the improvements when you're starting from a lower point, right? So if you suck at doubles and you sit on a team with me or PPU or Rocky for like 20 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, 10 minutes is probably the minimum. Like you can actually get noticeable, really significant improvements in your game just by implementing a few things. So I don't know. I find that really motivating. I think improvement should be motivating for everyone. I mean, we play Melee. A lot of us are like perfectionists or like serious tryhards. It's a great thing about the game, and yeah, that definitely warms my heart knowing that no matter how far I come, there's always infinitely more things that I could do better, because I did not feel that way when I played RTS games. I felt like I'd do like pretty much everything right, and then sometimes you still lose because the games have some luck or something. Melee has like no luck. You lose because of you or because of your teammate sometimes in doubles, but generally because of you. And that's, I don't know, that's so awesome to me that what you put in is what you get out, and a lot of things in life aren't like that, to be honest. And it's just beautiful. Melee has a cool meritocracy to it. People can make fun of you, say you're lame or whatever, but you can't hate on results. And yeah, okay. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, if you did, click subscribe, follow me on Twitter, all that good jazz. I don't want to plug myself every time, but yeah, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.